I hope you're doing great. I hope you have a chance to enjoy the most wonderful time of the year. It's insanely busy, I can say that. It's exciting, it's crazy, it's so many things, but it is beautiful after all. It's an exciting day for me because today we shipped an update to Azure Stack Hub for the first time as a member of the engineering team of Azure Stack Hub. So if you missed that, I'll link it in the description, so make sure you check it out. But I'm not here to talk today so much about Azure Stack Hub, but I wanted to talk to you about Azure Arc. And I'm sure you heard a whole bunch of things about Azure Arc, you're very familiar, you know there's a lot of momentum going on. But just in case you missed some fundamentals, I just want to give you a very high level overview. If I were to put Azure Arc into 3 pockets, we would have this single control plane to manage resources anywhere, any cloud, your own premises at the edge, all at one place in the Azure portal. But it's also about bringing Azure services to you or to any infrastructure, which could be, as an example, you could run Azure Data Services in your own premises as an actual PaaS services, or you could run it in another cloud provider or with your hoster, whatever the scenario is for you. And then the third pocket is really enabling developers to be very efficient, focus on functionality and user experience versus managing the security part of it, because you can automate big parts of it and then pretty much scale it up to anywhere or how big you need it. Now, each of these categories has its own use cases, different scenarios, different needs, etc. I had a chance just recently in my regular sync with Thomas Maurer that many of you know. We talked about common use cases that he sees, hears when he talks to customers, and things I hear about. And so, one hand, what was new to me is that because of Azure Managed Identities, and if you're not knowing what Azure Managed Identities are, it's basically the credentials and secrets that you need if you create an application. And it takes the need away, like the need that your developers managing those identities. We basically automate that and manage it for them and store the secrets in Key Vault. So it's kind of like a Christmas present for your developer. If they don't know that, you should definitely share it with them, as it takes off a big burden off them. It's complex, a lot of mistakes can happen. In my current role, I see that. What can happen when customers forget to rotate credential certifications, etc. It's messy. So having that managed for your application is actually awesome, and you can do that with Arc also on your own premises, and there's more and more customers that ask specifically for that. So that's one use case you might not have been aware of, and that might be a good, nice surprise for your friends in development to know about it. We'll also link that down below. Another use case is that a lot of enterprise ITs have DMCs, basically applications or infrastructure outside of their core network, so to speak. And sometimes there are domain joined, but technically they really shouldn't. Some may have a trust between the domains, but it's hard to manage the machine or the infrastructure in the DMC because they're not domain joined. Now, if you use Arc, Arc basically connects this up to the Azure Resource Manager, which means it's not dependent if it's domain joined or not. And then you can use Azure Policy to enforce policy on it. And so that would be a very easy way. If you are challenged or you have challenges with managing your infrastructure in the DMC, definitely check out how Arc can help you, because Arc is independent of domain joined or not domain joined. And many of you are probably looking around trying to source presents for your loved ones. It's hard. Not everything is broadly as available as maybe in the past, and so you're trying to best to do so. But it's not just you that is, purchasing things. It's also your employer, the company you work for, or maybe your own company that is procuring other things. Now, if that happens, like merger and acquisition, Arc should be the first thing that you roll out to that new IT environment. You roll it out just to get visibility into the state of all the servers, all the Kubernetes, regardless of what cloud platform the company is using that you're acquiring. No matter what operating system they're using, you can bring it into Arc, into Azure basically. You can start managing it, you can start enforcing policies before you connect them with your enterprise network or with your domain. And so these are 3 very practical use cases. One that was brand new to me, which was with the managed identities, which I do believe would be a great surprise for your friends in development. but then also your challenges with DMC. And if you don't have challenges, then I have security questions for your DMC. And obviously merchant acquisition again, where Arc would be a super great place to start. And with that, DDev Kurt out.